Bodine here. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. Welcome aboard. So you had a video put up a couple days ago and got a lot of response on it. Appreciate everybody taking a look and following along and subscribing and all that. I'm really glad. We had some really good comments in there with people that just had some great opinions and great ideas. I so much appreciate it. This is what I wanted to build as a community for people to be able to have those conversations. And man, I love this area. I walk up here all the time, the rock and everything, and so good to get out. It's getting really warm. So I wanted to share that with you too before I get into some of the things I want to talk about. But you know, one thing that I brought up in the last video was, you know, about the system and what that means to me. You know, I started the channel for the fact that, you know, the system really, to me, is the corporations and some of the government systems we have now. There's not a lot of stuff that we work with in the government that says, hey, the system's for you and it's going to help you. It's more of a demand, right? So more of paying taxes, more of you know, you have to pay into Social Security, you have to pay in the taxes and insurances and things that come out of your check. You know, that's the system I'm really talking about, because we remove ourselves financially when we get into that system. When you think about it, we have to be in it to make money. Your employers have to pay the taxes. They have to take all that out of your check or they get penalized. So, but that is the system, right? That's that machine that I'm talking about. Before we even receive a paycheck, we're losing, look at it, what is it, 20, 25, 30% in some cases? Taxes, Social Security, state tax. And then on top of that, you know, you take your money, after you get it, you go to the store, you're taxed again. You know, you go ahead and you buy your house and you pay property tax. So we know that, right? I'm not really giving you information that you don't know, but have you ever really stopped and thought about it as a machine? I mean, as you're the cog in the machine that keeps it going. People are like, oh, your taxes pay for the roads, your taxes pay for... Really? What do they pay for? Because the roads I'm driving down are just beat to heck, right? I don't know about you, but the freeways aren't that great. And besides that, you get on the freeway, they charge you a toll. Where's that money going? So it's just a money grab. They tax everything we buy. They tax us in the workplace. So that's what I mean by the system, by the machine. You're in it. We're all in it. Even if you have your own business, you have to pay your taxes, but at least you're in more control of your money and you have the revenue. If you pay your taxes quarterly, you pay them yearly, whatever it is. I mean, that's what I said when I'm getting out of it, because it's retirement time. This is it. And, you know, a lot of you are still out there in the workforce or younger and got to get into retirement in the future. But I'm telling you right now, I think it started in 1935 is when Social Security started. This is a 100-year project that's actually failing. The same machine, the same system that we're in, that we're paying, that's controlling us now, literally says, I think it's by 2033, that if they don't change it, the way things are going, we're going to end up with an 80% of what we're receiving now. So a 20% reduction. 17 to 20% is what the reduction will be in Social Security. That's incredible, because we've been paying into it. You've been paying into it. The youth paying into it. I'm just going to retire. 62, going to retire. They start taking SSA, and I still have the possibility, and so do you, if you're my age or older, that by 2033, that they'll reduce Social Security. If it goes the direction it's going right now, unless they find a way to find the money. I looked it up. How are they going to find the money? Taxes. So they're going to tax everybody more to be able to keep people on Social Security. Then what happens to them 20 years from now when they go to retire? All their tax dollars were paid and they had to pay into Social Security, and then it's going to be a deficit again. I don't think the system's going to work for much longer unless they make changes. And I hope they do, because just as much as I get Social Security and you get Social Security, if you're, again, older, What about the younger people? What are they going to do? If that's a failing system, they need to fix it. And it needs to be fixed quick, because you are paying in the machine. You will pay into the machine if you're not yet. And the system is generating that. They thought it was going to work, and now it's not. You know why? Because they're taking this Social Security money and they're paying for other things, because they're not doing good. Our deficit's tremendous. It doesn't matter who's in office or what form of government you're talking about. They overspend. They take the money. This isn't a left or right thing. It's just government thing. I'm literally the most normie person that I could ever think of, and I never even paid attention to it. And people would tell me, yeah, you need to pay attention. So I started paying attention. Now I'm like, oh boy, there's an issue. It's just on the surface. So I am not an expert on this by any means, but I'll tell you what, one thing is I'm concerned, because I had a couple people ask me, what's the system? What is that about? What are you talking about? Look around. I'm not the one that's going to have to share all those things. Look around and find out what's going on out there. A lot of you have commented and given me a lot of thought, right? A lot of things to think about. And then I've said some things that people have thought about, and they're like, you're spot on. I started the channel because of that whole situation with me losing my job and getting put into this situation. And I realized quickly that I should have probably got out of the system a long time ago, because it's just not that great, right? It's not that great. It gives you a little bit, be able to make it, but that's what the channel's about. How to make it into Social Security. I'll retire on Social Security. I don't have a savings. I get a little bit, and I use it to pay off debt. And we're going to have to work for a little bit here while we're retired, part-time, to get this all paid off and the debt paid off to be able to make it. And a lot of you are going through the same thing. I've talked to a lot of you in the comments. I've literally gotten back to every comment, and they've been great. I mean, I'd say 95% of the comments extremely positive. There's a couple that are a little iffy. That's okay. That's okay. You have your opinion, and I appreciate it, because sometimes people need to be held in check. But that system that I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about. And you know, because I've seen some of the comments. So my whole thing was, how do we get out of it, or how do we use the system to our benefit? Look at what benefits are available to you, because if you've paid into the system and you've been in it forever, you need to figure out what you can do to leverage it for yourself and make your life better. I was born in 1964, so I'm a boomer. I didn't even know that. That's how normie I am, right? I didn't even know I was a boomer. I don't feel like a boomer, right? Everybody said, oh, boomers are old. I don't feel that way. Old, but I am. So being a boomer and looking at everybody saying that boomers are rich and they're the problem, well, I'm not rich. I'd like to have some of that money, I guess. I don't know. I'm fine where I'm at. There's a lot of people with a lot of money. It doesn't make them necessarily boomers. I know a lot of people that are very young that have a lot of money too. Some people do extremely well with money. I did not. And a large percentage of the people that are watching the channel that are out there don't do that well with money. It doesn't mean you don't do well with money. It means money just didn't treat you well either. We've all had opportunities to make money, but then again, making money, you can fail. A lot of successful people have failed multiple times. Successful people have filed bankruptcy multiple times. Most successful people, the really high ups, 1%ers, are entrepreneurs that didn't even have an education, a college education. They just knew how to generate. They knew how to make money. They were entrepreneurial minded, and it worked for them. So everybody's different. So we're not calling anybody out about anything. Anybody with money, anybody without money. We're all human beings. We all need each other. We should all support each other. But the system, not so much. The system, you're a cog, a wheel in the machine. When you're in that working class corporate lifestyle, you are that cog. And when that cog wears out, throw it away. What happens on a car part when it busts? You throw it away, you get a new one. Same thing in the corporate lifestyle. Same thing. You're expendable. Oh, you're getting a little bit older, not as efficient? Throw you away. Buy a cheap part, put it in, does the same job. Maybe not as good, but we'll get by, and we save money. It's very similar. So what I wanted to say is I wanted to share that with you, because it's really, really tough when people comment or they talk and they don't know what I'm talking about. I just wanted to be clear on that, because that system can be used against you, and that system can be used against them. There's options out there in the system that'll work for you. But I'm telling you, the system wouldn't be there if it didn't have a profit or a way to extract money from you. And where's the money going? All the money we put in the system, we're not getting it back. It's going somewhere else. You've seen it go to other countries. You've seen it go places. I'm not pleased about it. I know nobody is pleased about it. We can't control it. There's not a damn thing we can do. So you just got to use what's at your fingertips, what's in the system that you can use. When you get into retirement age, look at all the options that are out there for you. Insurances, maximize your Social Security. Figure out how you can work if you want to part-time retirement, which is still freedom. You've got plenty of time. And then when you retire 67, if you want to work a little more, stash some cash for later, you can, because you can make as much as you want at 67. They don't penalize you on that. But until you are, they take $1 for every $2 that you make. So you got to know the system and how it works to be able to maximize it for yourself in Social Security. Sometimes you don't have to work at all. A lot of people don't. That's great. So that's what I mean by the system. I really wanted to share that with you because it's a beautiful day, number one. Out here walking in the desert again. Makes me so happy to be out here and do this. And you really want to walk, stay healthy, and keep up with it, because you never know what's going to happen when it comes to work in SSA, whatever. One thing I'll say is I've noticed in the last, it was December 10th, I quit working. And when I quit working, I was like, okay, I can't sit around and stew on things all the time. I've got to be working and doing things. So I have been. I've been doing a little bit of hobby. I've been making these videos, which is extremely fun. And I just love the community. Thank you so much for the comments and getting back to me and having conversations. I just absolutely love it. And I think it helps me. It helps everybody being able to have those conversations. And I promised everybody I'd get back to them, and I have. It takes quite a bit of time, actually, but it's a good time. So wanted to talk about that. What is that system? What are we talking about? Don't let this system win, right? So use it to your advantage. Really look at all the options that I'm talking about with that. If you're working, if you're younger, and you say, God, I don't want to work the 9 to 5, I want to do that. What do you have? What can you do? Can you build your own business? Can you consult? If you're a plumber, can you make your own business, plumbing, HVAC, electrical? If you're a teacher, can you consult and teach on your own? All these options are available to you to be able to have your own business and do extremely well. So I wanted to share that with you and just kind of have that conversation. I've got a lot more coming up. I know a lot of you have asked about an update as far as how we're doing for the retirement thing. So the reason I haven't pulled the trigger on retirement, I said a couple days ago, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen tomorrow, because I was waiting on one thing to finalize and some questions I had. They got answered on Friday. And as of posting this, Monday will be like the 8th, I think. So actually the 9th, I think, is Monday. And that'll be the day that I file once I get this last bit of information. I'm excited about that. And do you know that every day you wait, or every month you wait after 62, your Social Security benefit goes up every month. So like 62 in 2 months, it goes up, and it's like $18, sometimes $20 a month, depending on the amount you get. But mine was going up like $18 a month for every month I wait for life, right? So you get that for life. Interesting about SSA, I really encourage you to get on ssa.gov to figure out what yours is, because it's extremely important. And as you work and you turn in your years, the better years you have, the more money you make. So they tally up the 5 best years, I think is what it is. So you can actually look at it and see your SSA go up every month when you look at it. And the longer you wait, the more it goes up, of course. So I just wanted to share that with you, kind of fun. But anyway, yeah, getting ready to do that. So just a little update, but we've got a lot more update on the date, or the debt. I don't know why I said date. But on the debt that we're paying off and how we're retiring and what we're going to do. The big one that I'm working on right now is housing. The big one I'm working on is housing. That's going to save us so much money. I've got a great plan. I really want to take you on that journey because it's super, super exciting. And it has everything to do with retirement and everything to do with what we're going through. And of course, with housing, we're going to have to deal with some of the system. So you always have to do that as well. So anyway, hey, listen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the comments. We've got some great videos that we put out. We've got some great videos coming. Remember to do something great for somebody and do something great for yourself. And be sure to be kind to yourself and make yourself feel good every day. It's so important. Get out, do something, keep moving, stay mobile, and we'll see you in the next one.